This is good racing, ladies and gentlemen, here. Jenkins on the line. The crowd are going bananas again for another Poole 5-1. Good evening and a big warm welcome to the Pirates TV viewers here at Wimborne Road. And boy, do we have a meeting for you tonight. It's the Poole Wessex Marine Pirates taking on the Oxford Cheetahs in the BSN Series Southern. Now this is the last meeting of that little mini league here in the Southern, and it's a bit of a winner takes all match. Whoever wins tonight will go top of the league and go straight direct to the semi-finals. At the moment in the league, Oxford sit on 6 points, Poole sit on 5 and Plymouth languishing down on 2, but their meetings are over. It's all about tonight. So the meeting so far this season for the Pirates, they've drawn away at Oxford and obviously had that superheat win. They won at home to Plymouth and lost away by the narrowest of 2 points. So what are we expecting from Poole tonight? Well, we're expecting some fireworks. That's what we're expecting, because that's what happens when Poole and Oxford meet. If you remember the end of 2024, there were fireworks at every meeting. So Oxford tonight, they come with just the 6 riders, but we're going to head over to the pits and Rob Dyer and we'll find out more about what's going on with the Oxford team.
So pit side with the Pirates, Tobias THOMSEN's here with us, and Tobias, it's second home meeting of the season. Seems to have been a bit of a slow start overall. How many meetings have you been able to get involved in?
Oh, I've done 3 over here and 1 back home, so it's still early in the season. But we all just want to get going now and get some belts, some races under the belts to get going, right? So but here we are today, ready to race.
Last meeting here at Poole, you had a good score. I think it was 8 and 3 bonus points. Good score for a number 2 rider. Want to emulate that again tonight?
Yeah, I'm trying to be consistent this season, just trying to go hard in every heat and do everything I can and work hard for stats. So I'm aiming to do similar things tonight. Just getting dialed in with everything again and have fun.
Have you got new equipment for 2025?
I got a few new engines, all helped by a good sponsor. Thermohome helped me out big time. I got those with me, and also the one from the final last year. I have them as well, so I have many tools in my toolbox this season. So it's looking bright.
Have you got a favourite yet?
Not yet, but I think they all are good on certain tracks. So I'm just trying to find out which one to use whenever. But I got the favourite one for Poole. Of course, I have.
And you have a new helper in the pits this season with Neil coming in to assist you as the mechanic. Yeah,
Neil and his family has been really good to me this season, helping me out big time. So I'm grateful for the help I'm getting behind the scenes this season. Compared to last season, this season I'm getting a lot more help and it's taking some pressure off my back so I can focus on riding, and that's the main thing. And I think you could see it throughout the season that everything is just more, a bit more pleasure for me to ride, because I don't need to, work hard nights and early flights and all that. It's much more, professional this season. And
Last year when Oxford were here for a couple of the meetings at the end of the season, they were great spectator meetings and you put up great scores for the Pirates. I guess you want to do the same again today.
Yeah, when you have Oxford on their way side, you need to be sharp. It's always a great side to be racing, and there's some fierce rival between us. So, but it's all good, and normally provides some good racing. So we all going to go hard, that's for sure.
Well, we're looking forward to having another great Speedway meeting between the Pirates and the Cheetahs tonight. Thanks for your time and go well.
All right, thank you.
Okay, pit side with Peter Schroeck from the Oxford Cheetahs. Peter, welcome back to Poole. Last year, some classic matches between these two sides. Let's hopefully have another one like that tonight.
Yeah, I'm sure we will. It's always exciting. It was exciting when, certainly last year. So, we're trying to do one better this year, but let's see what happens.
Now, your team building plans for 2025 were thrown into turmoil really at the end of 2024 when Scott Nichols picked up that very nasty injury. I'm sure he must have been in your thoughts for 2025, and that's brought about quite a change in the Oxford lineup for this year.
Yeah, we had to change completely, where we've always been top heavy, with the two top hitters like Sam and Scott. Obviously that was a bit of a shock to us, but we sort of, I think we found a good balance within the team, so we just have to learn to sort of win in a different way instead of waiting until heat 13, 15 sometimes. It gives you a little bit of extra, bit of extra in those heats. But, I think we've got a good balance. We're looking pretty good at the moment. All the boys chipping in. So, so I'm quite happy overall.
Well, and to start the season, of course, at Sandy Lane there, Pirates draw, then a super heat to finish the meeting off. But since then, you've had 2 wins, one on the road, one back at home against the Gladiators. So that's put your side in good stead. Yeah,
definitely. We're really enjoying it. The boys are all gelling together. We're finding our feet. Had a good meeting, as you said, down in Plymouth. Had a good meeting against you guys at home. You're always going to be close. In hindsight, people said I should have put Sam on gate 1, but that's hindsight. At the end of the day, the race was pulled back, and then it didn't work in our favour. So, but it was a good meeting overall, and it sort of fires up for today.
Now tonight you've got a little bit of a team problem there with Cameron Heaps having to come out with a shoulder problem. Yeah. Why did you put him at number 2 on your riding order when you declared your team?
Well, because at the end of the day, I had to think about the RR, and with the RR, it gives me options at number 2 a lot better than it would be at number 3 or 4. So all the boys can have a ride, and hopefully it works out for us. There's obviously guests out there which I could have got one thing, but I like to do the job myself if we can, not relying on other people if we can help it. It looks better for the sport as well than bringing different riders in all the time. So we're going to have a go tonight and let the boys earn a few extra quid.
Well, it's been a good day weather-wise here. Track's holding up very nicely, so we can look forward to some great racing.
Yeah, 100%.
Thanks, Peter.
No worries.
Go well. We'll hand back to the comms team now with Scott Mitchell.
So here are the rider lineups for this evening. We'll start with the Oxford Cheetahs. At number 1, Sam Masters. At number 2, rider replacement for Cameron Heaps, who's injured. Number 3, Jonas KNUDSEN. At number 4, Dan Gilkes. At number 5, Jordan Jenkins. Number 6, Mitch McDIARMID. And at number 7, Luke Killeen. And ever present Oxford manager Peter Schroeck. And we go over to the Pirates lineup. It's Richard Lawson at number 1. Donut in Tobias THOMSEN at number 2. Number 3 is Anders Rowe. Number 4, Zach Cook, the Pirates captain. Number 5, Lewis Kerr. At number 6 is Paul Starke. And number 7 is Matt Marson. And the most winningest team manager in Pirates history, Neil MIDDLEDITCH. So welcome to Wimborne Road. You now join us live here on Pirates TV, and we've had quite a blustery day here today down in Dorset. It's been a little bit of sun, a little bit of cloud, but mainly a bit of sea breeze coming in across the track. But without too much sun in the last couple of hours, it means that the track prep looks really good, Rob, and who joins me this year up in the commentary box. So it's Rob and myself will be bringing you all the action.
Yes, co-coms this year. We've left the pits behind for a little while and going to be sitting alongside Scotty for the majority of the meetings this year. And the track's been prepped well. We've had a dry day. We've had a dry period, in fact. Most clubs up and down the country have found the same. And it's taken a bit of water to go into the track, and we hope that it seeped through into the base and it's going to give us a good racing surface today.
Yeah, the starts have been, when I got here, were being absolutely ripped up. Now here's the little mini-series I was telling you about at the top of the show. Oxford Cheetahs sitting pretty on 6 points. As you can see, Pirates on 5. And the Gladiators haven't ridden all their meetings. They're sat on a total of 2 points. So they are out of the equation for the semi-finals. And you can see who finishes top of this goes through to the semi-final. And at the moment, Pirates at second. But there is a second chance, because out of the 3 leagues with the BSN Series Northern and the BSN Series Scottish, the highest placed second place team will go through to the semi-finals as well. But nobody in this southern area want to rely on that. They want to get through direct, and the only way they can do that is this winners-take-all meeting this evening.
Yeah, that's the important thing tonight. A win, is going to be the guarantee for either side to make the top spot, and that'd be fantastic from the Pirates' point of view. As the holders of the trophy for the last 2 years, they'll want to retain that, and the first thing they've got to do is top the heap, and tonight's the opportunity to do it. Now for this 2025 season, we're going to give you some head-to-head statistics. They'll build up over the course of the season as the riders and the meetings go on. But in our first head-to-head between Marson and Killeen, you can see Killeen has done 5 appearances here at Wimborne Road to score something like 11-3, or his highest score was 11-3. 5 rides for that one, so his Wimborne Road average 5 points. That would be a very useful return if he could do that this evening.
As with the 11+3 that he did here at the end of last year in those playoffs, he was inaugural to keeping Oxford in it right to the day.
If I can just correct you there, Scotty, of course it was Luke Killeen who came down in the final and had to pull out of the meter, so that was a little bit of a difficulty. Here's the head-to-head between Poole Starke and Mitch McDIARMID. McDIARMID making debut here at Wimborne Road, so nothing really to go by there. But over his championship history here at Poole Starke, current GSA 3.59, Wimborne Road average 5.38. That would be a good return for him tonight.
And again, another reason why we can see the Poole promotion took a punt back on Poole Starke at the average that he was on to come in at reserve.
Yeah, starting at just over 3 and with a potential of 5 on this track from past history. Yeah, it was almost a certainty that he'd get his place back in the side. At the number 5 berths, Louis Kerr and Jordan Jenkins. Jordan Jenkins has been in good form at the start of the season. He did take a bit of a knock at the end of last week in the meeting that Oxford held against Plymouth, and it was a hospital trip for him over the weekend, but he's declared fit to go. He has a Wimborne Road average of 5.13, quite capable of increasing that today.
Yeah, and Louis Kerr was a bit of a shot out of left field for some of the Pirates fans, but a fit Louis Kerr we know goes well here, and if you look at his last sort of 5 or 6 meetings here, 3 of those have been double point scores, so that's why the Pirates promotion went for him.
On to the number 4s, Zach Cook captaining the Pirates. Of course, he's done many, many laps around Wimborne Road now. In his battles against Dan Gilkes, he's got an 88% race win situation, so he's obviously going to be confident against his opposite number tonight. 22-year-old Dan Gilkes, up-and-coming rider, been a rising star, lots of potential there for the Cheetahs.
Absolutely, and Zach Cook obviously back at Poole without his brother Ben, but taking his brother's captain's armband. Yeah,
and taking it with aplomb as well. Over on the other side, we look at Tobias THOMSEN against what should have been Cameron Heaps. Heaps is a regular performer at Wimborne Road, not always a top scorer, but a useful man to have on your books. Tobias THOMSEN, well, he was a star really of the playoffs at the end of last season. He carries 4.63 on the green sheets at the moment, and an average here at Wimborne Road 6.25. So his form last week was excellent, and we hope that from a Pirate point of view he carries that on.
Yeah, and here's the big head-to-head. Richard Lawson and Sam Masters. We're looking at those battles and thinking these are going to be the ones tonight, aren't they? They're probably going to meet each other 3 times, I'd guess.
Yeah, at least. As you can see on the graphic, they've met each other in championship action here 19 times. It's 10-9 in favour of Masters at the moment, and how Richard Lawson would love to swing that around into his favour at the end of tonight. Fantastic average for Richard at Wimborne Road, 10.27, and 9.46 for Sam is nothing to be sniffed at. Hope you enjoyed the graphics. We'll update those as we go on through the season, and this final one, of course, which is Poole against Oxford, how they line up head to head, and as you can see, 1 win on the Cheetahs side, but all the plaudits over with the Pirates. So we hope it goes the Pirates' way from a Poole point of view, but of course the Oxford Cheetahs and all their many fans watching in, we welcome you along, and we hope that we have a great meeting Speedway tonight. To the pits, and we can see the riders just preparing to come out on their parade lap, and Sam Masters at the top of the queue there He'll be bringing the Cheetahs onto track in just a few moments' time, and a solid looking 6 there, and would have been a better 7, of course, with Cameron there. We hope Cameron's return to fitness isn't too far away, but let's look at the riders as they come out on parade tonight with the Oxford Cheetahs.
In this decisive BSN series fixture, it's going to be winner takes all, and we welcome the ST Timo Hotels Oxford Cheetahs, powered by Captain Plumbing Supplies.
Nothing like getting a lot of your sponsors on your race jacket, is it? There's a lot to be fitted on there this year. Of course, Spencer Timo is a well-known supporter of Oxford Speedway, and his father, Rick Timo, of course, was an established rider in his own right back in the 60s. So good to keep the family connection going there at the Oxford Stadium.
Seems to be the way of Speedway, isn't it? That's the way it's always run. Seems to be family linked, and this is what keeps the clubs running and going.
So on screen now, the Pirates, they make their way from pit lane, a full 7 riders back for their second team appearance here at Wimborne Road this year. A thumping win last time out against the Plymouth Gladiators. I don't think it's going to be thumping tonight. It's going to be a close contest, I'm pretty sure, but those Pirates know what their target is. It's a win. 46 points would be ideal, better if you could get over that, of course, but just 46 to 44 would be absolutely dolly for the Pirates.
Yeah, it would, and I've seen lots in social media leading up to this meeting saying, you know, could be a cricket score to the Pirates. I'm not one that's feeling that way. I'm feeling that the rider replacement situation changes it a little bit. Not because Cameron Heaps hasn't scored well here in the past, but I think at number 2, whoever comes in at rider replacement is going to have a little bit of sheltering from Sam Masters as well. So maybe not quite so much pressure on them as a rider replacement riding alongside Masters.
Two sides went toe-to-toe throughout 2024, and it was neck-and-neck contest again when they met for the first fixture in 2025. The Pirates got the superheat win on the occasion, and now the Cheetahs are targeting a win here if they're to reach the semi-finals automatically. All right, let's give them another welcome here on track in front of you for the ST Timo Carstowns Oxford Cheetahs. At number 7, Luke Killeen. Number 6, Mitch McDIARMID. Number 5, Jordan Jenkins. Number 4, Dan Gilkes. Number 3, Jonas KNUDSEN. At number 2, Cameron Heaps will be covered by rider replacement, as we wish Cameron a quick recovery from a shoulder injury, and it takes us up to their number 1 top scorer of the first leg, their captain, Sam Masters. Well determined to put themselves back on top of the table and win that semi-final place. It's time to show your allegiance to the Poole Wessex Marine Pirates! Number 7, Matt Marson. Wearing number 6, Paul Starke. Number 5, Louis Kerr. At 4, captain with a paid maximum score last time, Zach Cook. Number 3, Anders Rowe. Number 2, the Donut King, Tobias THOMSEN. And number 1, Chad Lawson. 2 captains on the line there. Sam for Oxford, Zach for Poole. Sam's calling heads. And it is heads, it's Sam's call. He's going 1-3 in Heat 1 for the Cheetahs.
So first blood to the Cheetahs in the coin toss, and that will set them up nicely for heat number 1, with Sam Masters coming out, of course, with the first of his colleagues on a rider replacement outing. We'll just let you have a look at the riders there doing their practice starts in prep for the meeting. So there we go, riders completed their warm-up laps back into pit lane for them, and helmets ready and goggles ready to go for heat number 1. And just as soon as we get news of who that rider replacement outing is going to be taken by for the Cheetahs, it'll be in yellow, then we of course will let you know. First blood to Sam with the coin toss, that might work in their favour in those opening few races, time will tell. But as Scotty said, having the rider replacement sitting alongside Sam Masters, that will provide some shelter, a good word, to enable one of the other Oxford riders to deputise for Cameron Heaps. Now in pit lane, Zach Cook there just pops the lid off, and all the other guys there just getting themselves ready to go.
Yeah, please note the copyright of tonight's stream is owned by Pirates TV, and any reproduction, sharing, posting or illegal distribution of any content without permission will result in the said account being closed and blocked from all future Pirate TV broadcasts. Please, please, please help us help you continue to bring you the meetings here from Wimborne Road live. And of course, contact us here at Pirates TV. You've got PooleSpeedway.com, Facebook.com, Poole Pirates, Twitter.com, Poole Speedway, Instagram.com, Poole Speedway, and of course the good old-fashioned World Wide Web, info at Poole Speedway / PooleSpeedway.com. So yeah, simple and easy. Let us know how we're getting on.
And now you can see Sam Masters just preparing to go out racing in heat number 1.
It looks like Jonas KNUDSEN is going to be your rider replacement.
Yeah, I think we need just to wait to confirm that, but Masters and KNUDSEN have ridden together at 1 and 2 for Oxford earlier in the season, so it does make a natural opening pairing for them. And work going on there of Jonas's equipment to get him ready to go in what we will believe his rider replacement outing in heat number 1. Peter Schroeck and John Davis exchanging words. John Davis, of course, Great Britain international, former Oxford rider, Oxford Rebels rider I think he was, as well as many other tracks over the course of his career.
Nervous moments these for the riders, waiting for the meetings to start.
All right, ahead of heat number 1, I can tell you the rider in yellow is a rider replacement for Cameron Heaps, moving number 3, Jonas KNUDSEN. Jonas KNUDSEN then will ride in yellow.
So there you go, ladies and gentlemen. My guess was correct. Jonas KNUDSEN it is, out as the first RR for the Oxford Cheetahs in race 1.
Right, are you ready to make some noise, ladies and gentlemen? First of all, for the
So
riders in the
strong looking lineup then for the Cheetahs in heat number 1, and Pirates number 1 Richard Lawson off the maybe unfavoured outside starting position to open his account for this evening.
Tobias Thompson.
Masters in shot as he approaches the start line.
Captain Sam Marson.
I had a little sneaky look here tonight while they were doing a bit of track prep, and I have to say, there we go, previous heat result from the early meeting up at Oxford, flashing up in your left-hand corner. Our riders are at tapes, and here we go. In gate 1 is Jonas KNUDSEN in yellow for the Cheetahs. In gate 2 in blue is Tobias THOMSEN for the Pirates. In gate 3 in white is the danger man Sam Masters for the Cheetahs, and in gate 4 in red is Richard Lawson for the Pirates. Now, while I saw the track prep going on, I saw the inside really the whole track was getting ripped up on the starts, but they tractor sort of wheel rolled the inside 2 gates with a smaller tractor with wider tread on it. So I'm wondering whether that's going to perform wonders for the inside gates, or whether it's to even all the gates up. So we'll see in time, I think. Here we go, heat 1, our start. Marson is ready. Takes her up and away we go. It looks a good one from the Oxford boys. And around the outside comes Lawson, but it's Oxford 1 and 2. KNUDSEN holding on to second place. He's drifted through the corner wide. He's let Lawson back up the inside.
Masters lead. Lawson sneaks through on the inside of Ben number 4, takes second place ahead of Jonas KNUDSEN. Sam Masters, a silky smooth rider out the front. Lawson's on his tail. Tobias THOMSEN, well, he's got work to do from the back position. Lawson still chasing Masters at the front. It's settling down into an advantage to Oxford at the moment. Pirates with work to do if they're to close this one off. 1 lap to go.
It's still Masters out front, being hot-tailed by Lawson. If it's a slight mistake, you feel Lawson can go by. Lawson stayed quick enough, but he's just not quite good enough to get round him. He's trying the big one round the outside. It's white, red, yellow and blue as they come over the line. It's a 4-2 heat advantage in favour of the Oxford Cheetahs, and it's a dream start for the Oxford fans that have travelled. There's your heat winner in white, Sam Masters.
Yeah, I think KNUDSEN might be a little bit disappointed there. He hit the third bend a little bit too hard, drifted wide, and Lawson was there in an instant to run through. Here's your official result of heat number 1. A win for the rider in white for the Cheetahs, Sam Masters. Second place in red for the Pirates was Richard Lawson. Third in yellow for the Cheetahs, Jonas KNUDSEN, and Tobias THOMSEN, your fourth finisher. 4-2 heat advantage to the Cheetahs, winning time 59.22. 59.22.
Yeah, and there's a good start there from Masters. He just got about half a bike on Lawson. Lawson wasn't far off on the drop. Tobias THOMSEN lifted, and that made him a bike length short. Lawson got there right at the same time as Masters, just give him a little nudge to go a little bit wider early doors than he wanted to be. And that left KNUDSEN come up the inside, but on the way in to turn 3, KNUDSEN seemed to grab a little bit of grip and shot him through the corner, and that allowed the gap for Lawson to come under, and that's where the race stayed.
We're on to the reserves race, heat number 2, another crucial race even at this early stage in the meeting. And we've got riders on screen at the moment. Luke Killeen there in the yellow helmet, just tucking into gate number 4. And across the gate, your lineup goes like this. Gate number 1 in red for the Pirates is Poole Starke. Gate number 2 for the Cheetahs in white is Mitch McDIARMID. Gate number 3 in blue for the Pirates, Matt Marson. And in the yellow gate, gate number 4 is Luke Killeen for the Cheetahs.
Could be 2 races in one here, Rob, I feel.
Yes, it could do. Be interesting to see how the new Aussie Mitch McDIARMID settles down to Wimborne Road. I guess he will have ridden against Marson in Australia during various meetings out there, so be interesting to see how he fares. Down to Poole Starke really here to keep the Pirates flag waving high, I would have thought, but Killeen is no mug around Wimborne Road, so we'll see how they get on.
Yeah, absolutely. He's had some good meetings here. Up go the tapes and away we go. And it's looks a good one from McCoy. Killeen's coming around the outside of Starke, and he makes it. It got tight down into turn 3, but the two Aussies for Oxford out front seem to be leaving the party.
Great work from McDiarmid off the gate to trap Starke on the line, and Luke Killeen bullies his way around the outside of Poole Starke, going around bends 1 and 2. So good start for the Aussie pairing for the Cheetahs. They look like they've got this one pretty well sewn up. Poole Starke working hard to try and reel Killeen in. Mark Marson, I'm afraid, is a bit of a way of adrift at the back of the field. But Mitch McDiarmid, well, first time here and first time very impressive.
Yeah, goes over the line in the lead, and he looks to be leaving the others behind, even his teammate Killeen. He showed a clean pair of heels, and he looks like a Tate's victory. It's white, yellow, red and blue as they come over the line, and Poole Starke's shaking his head there, not happy with his performance. There'll be bike changes there, but it's a big 5-1 to the Oxford Cheetahs.
Yeah, well, we didn't know what Mitch was going to do, and he's proved his mettle there in heat number 1. As we go to the graphic on screen, we'll give you the result as shown, riding in the white helmet colour, the race winner for the Cheetahs, Mitch McDiarmid, 3 points for him. Second place in yellow, team partner Luke Killeen, also for the Cheetahs. And third in red, 1 point for Poole Starke for the Pirates. Matt Marson at the back. 5-1 heat advantage to the visitors. 59.5 the winning time. And overall, we've got the Pirates on 3, the visitors on 9.
Winning time again, 59.50.
And with the draw up at Oxford, obviously, Cheetahs now take the lead on aggregate. 48 to 54, and we'll have to keep our eye on that.
Again, make some noise. Let him hear you. Anders Rowe.
The riders approach the tapes here for heat 3. Sponsored by BIAS Technologies.
Positive start then for the visitors. Pirates now turn to their engine room pairing of Anders Rowe and Zach Cook in this heat. They've got them out of Stuck a couple of times already this season, home and away, and they'll no doubt be looking to see if they can not repeat the same thing again. Riders at the line, and the full lineup will come up for you now.
Yeah, on gate 1 in white is Jonas KNUDSEN for the Cheetahs. In gate
it looks like the riders have just switched around at the gate, so we are right with the graphic.
Okay, then this rider in white is Jonas KNUDSEN in gate 1. In gate 2 in blue, it's captain for the Pirates, Zach Cook. In gate 3 in yellow is Dan Gilkes for the Cheetahs, and in gate 4 in red is Anders Rowe for the Pirates.
Start Marshal just bringing the riders together there at the starting line, settling down now. Important race again.
Takes her up and away we go, and it looked like a good one on the inside again for the Cheetahs. It's KNUDSEN and Dan Gilkes out front on the 5-1. Here comes Anders Rowe around the outside. Here comes Zach Cook on the inside. Rowe makes inroads into KNUDSEN.
So Rowe's picked one off. What can he do about the man in front? And Zach Cook, well, he's going to have to look after KNUDSEN in the third position. Anders Rowe taking the wide line, and he's trying to take Dan Gilkes as he can. He's gone wide again, looking for some speed, for some drive. He's almost there, but Dan Gilkes, steady as you go down the back straight. Rowe comes again with a big blast around the outside, and he's going to take him this time round. Now we turn our eyes to the back of the field with Zach Cook and Jonas KNUDSEN.
Yeah, Cook's now all over KNUDSEN. Can he get there? He's got half a lap. He's going big, wide, high, right and handsome, but he's not going to make it. It's red, yellow, white and blue as they come over the line. It's a stonking win for Anders Rowe. who had to work extremely hard to get there. Appreciated by the Pirates faithful, Rob.
Very much so, and wow, wasn't he made to work. He tried that outside run, and eventually he found the drive to pick off Dan Gilkes and get his nose in front. But Oxford there packing into minor places. They'll be very happy with that, I'm sure. And there's your Heat 3 result on screen now. A win for the rider in red for the Pirates, Anders Rowe. Second place, Dan Gilkes for the Cheetahs in yellow. Third in white, Jonas KNUDSEN for the Cheetahs. And surprisingly, there's Zach Cook at the back. Points in the heat shared 3 to each team. Winning time is 59.22 seconds. And on the night, Pirates have 6 and the Cheetahs have 12.
You have to say, the Cheetahs have definitely got their gating gloves on this evening. They went off a 1 and 3 there, rocketed to the first turn. KNUDSEN and Dan Gilkes there. And then here comes Rowe around the outside. Makes short work of KNUDSEN down on turns 3 and 4. And then was really committed at back wheel chase in 1 and 2 on lap 2. And then we see him go wide again around the outside, finding the grip out wide. Not quite making it that time. Still wheel chasing though. Didn't give up. Got alongside, going down the back straight. And then it was just all a matter of time before he got out into the dirt, went a little bit wider and went round the rider in yellow comfortably.
So we look at the lineup for heat number 4, and riding out of gate number 1 in yellow for the Cheetahs is going to be Luke Killeen. Next door, gate number 2, blue helmet colour for Matt Marson with the Pirates. Gate number 3 in white for the Cheetahs, Jordan Jenkins. And on gate number 4 in the red helmet colour for the Pirates is Louis Kerr. Pirates 6 points adrift after 3 races, perhaps not an expected situation. And with Matt Marson in the race, the Pirates are going to have to look to Louis Kerr here to see if he can do his best to curtail those fast starting Cheetahs. They've really been making some excellent traps so far, and now it's down to Louis and Matt to see if they can pull the Pirates back into the meeting. But congratulations to the Cheetahs so far. They've really come out of the traps in flying style. Let's see what happens when we go racing in heat number 4.
Yeah, the riders are up at tapes. I'll start Marshall Colin. He's ready to go. And away we go. And it's a better start in red there for Louis Kerr. He comes around the outside of Jordan Jenkins. Takes the lead. Marson at the back for the Pirates, and the Oxford pack in the middle places.
Smart start from Louis Kerr for gate number 4. He managed to box the other 2 Cheetahs in going into the first corner, and now he sets sail for home. Fresh air in the nostrils, dirt under the back wheel, and he's taking a lap or 2 out of Jordan Jenkins. Round pits turn, Louis Kerr looking good at the front, and Cheetahs again stepping in for the minor placings as they have 1 lap to go.
It's Louis Kerr out front, being chased by Jordan Jenkins. Louis Kerr looked to have made a mess up, or he's packing up. He's packing up. No, the bike's refired himself into light. Jenkins coming around the outside. Is there anything left? Jenkins, I think, gets it on the line. I think it's white, red, yellow and blue. I'm not sure what happened to Kerr there on bend 2. Whether he picked up and went a little wide, or whether he had a bike problem. He just seemed to be slowing, and he's got to the pit gate and the bike is stopped. So here we go on the last turn. Louis Kerr looks over the wrong shoulder. Coming around the outside was Jenkins. Does he make it? Yes, he does, by half a wheel. So that turns that into a 4-2 for the Oxford Cheetahs, and I have to say it has sent the Wimborne Road Stadium silent.
Certainly has, and what happened? There must have been something happening there with Louis Kerr. We'd have to be in the pits to find out. Let's give you the official result of heat number 4, a win for the rider in white, Jordan Jenkins for the Cheetahs. Second in red was Louis Kerr for the Pirates. Third in yellow, Luke Killeen for the Cheetahs. Matt Marson, the fourth finisher for the Pirates. 4-2, heat advantage to the visitors, and they have extended their lead. It's 16 to the Cheetahs, 8 to the Pirates. 4 races completed, and the tractors out on the circuit doing some grading. Pit view with Neil MIDDLEDITCH perusing his programme, chewing his chewing gum, pacing away as he normally does, and wondering what the heck's happened here to his beloved Pirates in the first 4 races of the night.
Yeah, absolutely, and I've got to say, it is a quiet stadium now. They have come out of the traps firing, and the rider replacement ride coming up in Heat 5 alongside Sam Masters. Be interesting to see where this one goes.
You see Zach Cook in picture there with injured brother Ben, with his left arm all cased up following that very unfortunate incident up at Kings Lynn 3 weeks ago. How do you fill your time if you're a speedway rider on the injured list and your arm is in that sort of situation? It must be frustrating, to say the least.
Yeah, it must be super frustrating to be coming and watching as well. It must only add insult to injury.
Well, it couldn't have happened at a worse time for Ben Cook, really, because his British Premier commitments were just getting underway. He was going okay in Poland. The Swedish commitments were just about to start, and he's had to knock all of that on the head to sit down and just cogitate things. So we've got a little bit of disruption on the graphics. Apologies for that. It may be to do with the electricals in the stadium, but I think we're back and recovered now. And as you can see, it's Louis Kerr who we're panning in on, and that looks like they might be changing the carburettor on the bike, and there it is. So off of one and onto the other.
Yeah, it's the full setup that's going, isn't it? So there's obviously a problem there. So if you could hear over the tannoy there, the confirmation of the RR4 Heat 5 for the Cheetahs. Coming out in yellow will be Dan Gilkes alongside Sam Masters.
Richard Lawson and Sam Masters in friendly discussion there. Of course, they have been teammates in the past up at Leicester Lions, so they know each other very well. And just to the left-hand side there, Sam Masters. The mechanic is Neil Evitts, former British champion, of course, back in the 70s, and spanner man for Sam these days for most of his UK commitments. On the screen you can see that the previous Heat 5 result last week here went in favour of the Pirates 4-2. How would they like to repeat that here this evening as the meeting progresses? So Heat 5, crucial one, Sam Masters with the outside start position. He's been trapping exceptionally well this year, and from that outside position he is a handful. Here's your full lineup with Scotty.
So, Heat 5, it's sponsored by Trethowens, Laura as it should be, in Gate 1 in red. Heat winner first time out, Anders Rowe for the Pirates. In Gate 2 in yellow, Dan Gilkes comes in as rider replacement. Gate 3 in blue is Zach Cook, captain of the Pirates. And in Gate 4 is Sam Masters in white for the Cheetahs.
Riders digging in and packing down there, just trying to find that sweet spot from which to launch away from the starting gate. Not a lot of time left on the countdown clock now for the riders, but looks like we're more or less ready to go. Starting marshal moves away, tapes her up.
And it's a good start from Sam. He's round the outside. Zach Cook's going with him. Gets round the outside of Gilkes. So it's now down to Anders Rowe to try and work his magic from the back. But
Yes.
Sam Masters out front.
Yeah, switch a line there from Rowe. He's tried to go to the inside. He's not made any ground at all on that one. Another super start from the Oxford pairing to get round bends 1 and 2 in front, but Zach Cook now having to do the chasing of Sam Masters, and Anders Rowe trying to find a route through Dan Gilkes. He likes that low line at the moment, but maybe he's better to switch it up a little bit, do what he did before. 1 lap to go. Cheetahs looking good for another race advantage.
Yeah, Gilkes in yellow actually is not done here with Zach Cook. He's trying the fast line round the outside, but it's Masters who did all the hard work on the first turn. He's going to take the win. It's white, blue, yellow and red as they come over the line. The Cheetahs get their own way again. It's a 4-2 heat advantage to the Oxford Cheetahs, and they take another 2-point lead in the meeting. Progressive score after heat 5, 10 to the Pirates and 20 to the Cheetahs. Here's the confirmation of the heat 5 result. A win for Sam Masters in white for Oxford. In second for the Pirates was Zach Cook. In blue. In third was Dan Gilkes with a vital point for them in yellow. And at the back, Anders Rowe in red for the Pirates. And the race time was 60.16.
Well, we're having a lesson from the Cheetahs in how to make starts, aren't we? Because we're going to see it again here in heat number 5 as the tapes go up. It's both yellow and white who look to make the best of the drop, and as they exit bend number 2, it looks that way, but Zach Cook just gets his nose in front of Dan Gilkes. But advantage Cheetahs, and away they go again for another heat advantage. And the Pirates have left themselves with a mountain to climb in this fixture. Can they turn it around? Will we be seeing tactical rides from the home side? Well, questions that will be answered in the fullness of time. But, well, not what we were expecting, I don't think, here this evening.
Certainly not what I was seeing on social media from the Pirates fans. They were seeing something totally different.
All right, we've just interrupted to say that 2 minutes has been cancelled and a change is appearing in heat number 6. The rider in blue will now be a tactical change with Zach Cook.
So as you can hear, as we are hearing, in heat 6 we're going to a tactical change. That's a rare one here at Wimborne Road for the Pirates. And the rider in blue will be Zach Cook.
Yeah, that's an interesting one, because it's going to put Zach Cook off at gate number 4, and it's going to give Zach an awful lot of work to do. He'll have Richard Lawson as his compatriot on gate number 2. But given the way that those Oxford boys have been getting out of the starts, then gate 4 and 2 visitors inside of you is going to make it a big deal for Zach. But cometh the hour, cometh the man, as they say, and we'll see what the Pirates captain can do as we go racing when heat 6 gets underway. There's of course a little bit of extra time being allowed, Zach Cook being out in the previous race and is coming again now in heat number 6. I honestly can't remember the last time Poole rode a technical substitute at home.
I'm racking my brains. It's one for the statisticians. Obviously they're giving Zach Cook a little more time to come round.
But in fairness, you've got to say the Cheetahs have been on it from the start. Their gating has been very, very slick indeed, and it's given Poole all the hard work to do to pick up points from the back. And yep, we've got to say there's a match on our hands here at Wimborne Road this evening, and the Oxford boys look like they're set fair at the moment to do something special.
Yeah, Mitch McDiarmid was very very good in heat 2, wasn't he? flew out of the traps and looked to have speed.
Yeah, he put a good gap between himself and Luke Killeen, who was in second place at that stage. So promises good things for the young Aussie. He has been racing over in Poland, of course, from time to time. He's had meetings there already this season. I don't think he's been doing spectacularly in terms of scoring, but he's been gaining lots and lots of valuable experience in Poland. So he's obviously learnt and brought it here to Wimborne Road this evening.
So here we go, here's the lineup for Heat 6, sponsored by Pirate Cast in Gate 1. In white, Jordan Jenkins for the Cheetahs. In Gate 2, in red for the Pirates, the number 1, Richard Lawson. In Gate 3, in yellow, Mitch McDiarmid. And in Gate 4, in blue, as a tactical change, is Zach Cook for the Pirates. Bit more gardening goes on. Not too much from the Oxford guys because they've already been round there and had a little play. Lawson having a real good dig there to find a rut that he's happy with. In red. Spins the bike round to get it in line in the right place. Tough place to start from the outside, Rob, but we have seen Lewis Kerr do it from there.
Yeah. Got to be done though, hasn't it? If the Pirates want to get their nose so back in the meeting, got to be done.
Here we go then. Start Marshall's ready, takes her up and away we go. And it's a good start from Lawson. Mitch McDiarmid goes really wide, and is he going to go round Lawson? He does. Lawson looked to be spinning up on the inside of turn 2. Pirates hold second and third. But Mitch McDiarmid is out front flying.
Yeah, it's absolutely excellent work there. He pushed Cook wide on the first bend, found enough traction off of bends 1 and 2 to get himself into front. Lawson spinning away, couldn't land a blow on him. As it is, the Pirates are on a 3-3, but that wasn't the requirement in this one with the tactical out on track. And Mitch McDiarmid is really impressing here on his first outings at Wimborne Road.
Yeah, McDiarmid still out front, locks it up a little there. Lawson catches a couple of bike lengths. I don't think he's going to have enough to get near him. He's going to show him a wheel on the inside, but it's yellow, red, blue and white as they come over the line. It's a 3-all heat score and a shared heat, which was not what the Pirates were after in a tactical ride. A bit of smoke coming off of Zach Cook's bike as he goes into the pits, but what a ride from the reserve Mitch there from the Cheetahs.
Yeah, hats off to the young man. He's really come and nailed his colours to the mast tonight. There's your official result of heat number 6, a win for Mitch McDiarmid in yellow for the Cheetahs. Second place to Richard Lawson in red for the Pirates. Third, a tactical ride in blue for the Pirates for Zach Cook. And the fourth finisher there was Jordan Jenkins. Points in the heat shed, 3 to each team. Oxford keep their 10-point lead. Pirates on 13, Cheetahs 23. 60.56. Your race winning time, 60.56.
And we heard from, here we go then, from the start. You can see rider in gate 3 didn't quite get over Lawson. Lawson hugged the inside, but Mitch McDiarmid went round the outside and left Lawson like he'd thrown a chain, and that was it from there really. He was able to ride the race that he wanted to ride, the position he wanted to ride in the track, and Pirates number 1 was unable to do anything about it at all.
So we're looking at the previous Heat 7 result when Plymouth were here a fortnight ago. They took a 5-1 in that race. Oh dear, do the Pirates have some sort of bogey on there for this particular heat? Let's hope not. You've got your full lineup coming this time round with Louis Kerr. See his troubles behind him maybe. Gate number 1 in red for the Pirates. Next door in gate number 2 is Jonas KNUDSEN for the Cheetahs. Gate number 3 in blue for the Pirates, Paul Starke. And on gate number 4 in yellow is Dan Gilkes for the Cheetahs. That's your lineup for heat number 7. with the Cheetahs 10 points to the good.
Yeah, Peter Schroeck will be happy with that. 10 points in front. After a tactical change as well. And he's able to still use some more rider replacements, and you'd have to say that Oxford are in, and there's their supporters, they're in the Trump spot. I think they must be in dreamland.
If I was an Oxford fan, I'd certainly be enjoying it. I'd be out in the fridge getting a tinny in, I think. But there we go, that's the way it goes.
Away we go, and it's a good start on the inside from Louis Kerr again. The changes to the bike have worked. Second place in yellow we have Dan Gilkes, and in third in white we have Jonas KNUDSEN, and at the back tailed off
Kerr, where he was in the original running of heat number 4 out front, but it slipped in that one. He'll be praying that it doesn't slip again in this one, but looking over his shoulder he'll see the yellow helmet and the white helmet colours tucked in behind for the Oxford Cheetahs. So they're going to round the heat off. It's a draw by the look of it. Poole Starke a long way back in blue for the Pirates.
So Louis Kerr in red still out front. The Cheetahs still packing the minor placings. It's a problem for the Pirates. Too many last places, but it's a win. In red, yellow, white and blue as they come over the line. It's 1-4. It's again an even heat. 3-all heat score is the result. Oxford hold on to their 10-point lead, and your race winner Louis Kerr comes round to the applause from the Pirates fans.
Here comes your official result of the last race, heat number 7, and the rider in red, Louis Kerr, in pole position there. Race win for him, 3 points for the Pirates. Second place in yellow was Dan Gilkes for the Cheetahs. Third place in white for the Cheetahs, Jonas KNUDSEN and Poole Starke, the fourth finisher. Points in the heat shared 3 to each team. Progressively, the Pirates move on to 16, the Cheetahs on 26, and the race winning time at 61.28 seconds. 61.28 seconds.
And there we see Louis Kerr dominate the first turn, go from the inside because he had bike length on the rider inside of him, headed to the dirt immediately. Poole Starke made a bit of a pig's ear going into turn 3, and that tailed him off. Sam Masters looking very happy at the moment with proceedings, and we have a track grade after heat 7 here.
Yeah, who can blame Sam? His team are doing a fantastic job, and he's doing it as well. Here's your gate statistics, and it looks like the wins are coming from gate number 3 at the moment, but all the points are coming from gate number 4. So those inside traps don't seem to be doing anybody any favours as we go through the meeting. Gate 3 race winners, and gate 4 for the big points. Looking into the pits there, you can see Zach Cook and work going on there as always. Ben Cook advising, and wonder what changes they're thinking about making in this one. Maybe big changes, because the Pirates need to do something spectacular if they're going to get themselves back into the meeting. Louis Kerr back on his knees, more bike changes. Went okay last time round. Wonder what happened that first race. Be interested to find out if we could. Rider who you'd hope would take a tactical ride at some point, but of course it's been spent already, so we're back to programme rides. And when we look over to heat number 8, which is next on the programme, well, there's a rider replacement outing to come for Cameron Heaps, and could it be that it will be Sam Masters taking that ride?
All right, into heat number 8, and 2 changes on your programme. First of all, on the Pirates.
Yeah, so it looks like there's going to be 2 changes. It does look like Sam Masters comes in Heat 8 as a rider replacement. Although it's a guarded heat, you can't do a tactical ride in Heat 8, but you can use a rider replacement. So very clever move from Peter Schroeck, the Oxford team manager, and that has to go down before we came here. And it looks like Paul Starke is coming in place of Matt Marson, so a reserve change also for the Pirates.
Yep, as I think many people may have forecast, Matt Marson would have stepped out of this one, and also forecast that Sam Masters would be stepping in for the rider replacement ride. So good work for Peter Schroeck. Sometimes he's taken a little bit of a battering on the socials for his team management decisions, but all's working exceptionally well for him tonight. And who'd be a team manager, really? Difficult decisions to make. Don't want to offend people. Got to keep people out of races if you want to win meetings. Not the easiest job to do. Okay, when you're winning, when you're behind, well, it takes a bit of tough skin sometimes to make those decisions and disappoint riders. 2-minute time allowance is on now as the discussions between Ben and Zach continue in the pits.
Yeah, Bart there looking at Zach's bike. He's looks to be changing a bit of jetting or something along there. Zach's back out in Heat 9 alongside Anders Rowe. New addition to the pits is a TV on the end wall between the 2 teams. They will be seeing our live broadcast over there in the pits.
Wonder if they can hear us as well.
Well, that would be interesting, wouldn't it?
So Sam Masters just doing his gardening there. He's already had 1 ride out of gate number 4. Successful one in Heat 5. And his partner this time round, as per programme, is Luke Killeen. Oxford boys have been keen to get to the tapes this evening. You'd understand why, of course. But here's your lineup with Scotty for Heat number 8.
So Heat number 8 sponsored by the Bournemouth Betting Centre in Gate 1. As a reserve change is Paul Starke in blue for the Pirates in Gate 2. Luke Killeen in yellow for the Cheetahs in Gate 3. In red, Tobias Thompson for the Pirates, and in Gate 4, a rider replacement ride for Sam Masters in white.
So the riders settle down, starting master's happy, he moves away.
And it looks a good one from Masters again. He gets over the top of Tobias Thompson, who has to hit the brakes as Masters change direction. Masters is out front. Pirates are in second and third. Tobias Thompson looks quick here, having a good go at Masters.
Yeah, surprisingly so, and he's certainly not letting Masters off the hook in this one, adopting a bit of a different approach to previous races. As it stands at the moment, Pirates sitting second and third, Luke Killeen out the back, but it's Tobias Thompson who's trying to make all the action happen at the front, and as we say that, Sam Masters twists the throttle just a little bit harder, takes a mid-track line and comes across the start-finish line with 1 lap to go.
Yeah, has a look over his shoulder to see where Tobias Thompson's going. Masters stays tight, still got his eye on Tobias Thompson. He knows Tobias is a racer, doesn't know which angle he's coming from. But as they come over the line, it's white, red, blue and yellow. It's another win for the Oxford Cheetahs. Tobias Thompson in second was giving it all he had, but Masters had the better of him. Starke comes in third in blue for the Pirates, so the Pirates fill out the middle order, but it's not what they need at the moment. Here's here's the confirmation of the Heat 8 result. It's a win for Sam Masters in white for Oxford. Doing his job well, leading the line, and in second place in red, Tobias THOMSEN for the Pirates. Third in blue was Poole Starke for the Pirates, and at the back Luke Killeen in yellow for the Cheetahs. It's a 3-all heat score is the result of Heat 8, and it's 61.15 the time.
Let's have a look at them as they go off the start in heat number 8. Good jump there from Sam Masters, but as Luke Killeen tried to force his way into the bend and into the action, he ran a little bit too wide. It allowed Poole Starke to cover the inside line, and that really was it. Luke Killeen a little bit out of shape there at the back of the field, chasing hard, but this time round not finding any traction or drive to be able to get into scoring positions. All the action with Masters and Thompson up front for the first couple of laps, but rounds off as a 3-3 heat. Oxford on 29, Pirates 19. No change over the last 3 heats in the overall position. We go now to heat number 9, and another chance to see the impressive Oxford reserve with Mitch McDIARMID.
Yeah, definitely, and you feel the way that Mitch is going. If he has a good one here, we may not see Luke Killeen anymore this evening now that he's had 3 rides. And that's no mean feat, keeping him at the side.
No, agree with that. Across the gate then for heat number 9. Zach Cook comes out in the blue helmet on gate number 1. On gate number 2 is going to be Jordan Jenkins in white. Gate number 3, Anders Rowe in red for the Pirates. Gate number 4, Mitch McDIARMID for the Cheetahs. He's in yellow. So plenty of stamping down going on, as is the way these days.
Yeah, you feel the Pirates are needing a couple of heat wins here in the next 2, otherwise the meeting will be running out of heat for them to get back into it.
We'll always have a super heat. Scotty, that would be a bit of fun at the end, wouldn't it?
Yeah, why not? Have an extra heat. So here we go then. Tapes are up on heat 9. It looks a better start from the Pirates, and the Pirates are out front. Zach Cook looks over his shoulder, waiting for his partner to come round the outside. Seems to have settled down a bit after a lap.
Yeah, it took a little bit of sorting out on the first lap, but they seem to have settled a little bit now, and Cook and Rowe out front for the Pirates, with McDIARMID giving good chase for those Cheetahs, proving he's not just a trapper, but this time he looks to the inside. Anders Rowe there looks over his left shoulder and takes a double take really, because I don't think it's expected to see somebody there like it was. McDIARMID there on one wheel coming off the back straight, now switching across to the inside line. He's working his socks off, but it's not doing any good at the moment.
Now the Pirates duo out front still. These two have been the power pack centre of the team, and they've done it again. It's blue, red, yellow and white as they come over the line. The Pirates fans much happier with that outcome. Heat win for the captain, Zach Cook, doing the captain's job. He made a lovely start on this occasion. Rapturous applause for him as he comes up along the main start straight grandstand. Here's confirmation of the Heat 9 results. A win in blue for Zach Cook. Second is partner in red, Anders Rowe. In third, Mitch McDiarmid, and in fourth in white was Jordan Jenkins. It's a 5-1 heat result in the favour of the Pirates, and it was 60.5 was time of race number 9.
Let's watch him off the start here, and Zach Cook on the inside gate gets a good drop away, as does Anders Rowe. Anders Rowe goes to the outside. Zach Cook, you can see there looking over his right shoulder, try and find Rowe. Rowe again trying to find a path round the outside of Zach Cook, but not quite enough speed. And after a lap or so, they settle down and Pirates take it away for the 5-1 victory. But impressive again from McDiarmid. Let's see what happens as the meeting progresses. Now on to heat number 10. Could the Pirates be staging a comeback? They've got a long way to go. But this time out, they've got Lawson and Thompson, who are going to be asked to do a big job for the home side.
Well, you have to say that Thompson looked a bit quicker last time out. Lawson maybe been spinning up a little bit, maybe on the turns. We've had little home meetings, haven't they, Pirates, and with the rain off, so a little run of home meetings coming up. We'll see the guys dial into the track a little bit more.
Okay, here we go with your lineup for the next race, which is heat number 10. On gate number 1, in blue for the Pirates, Tobias Thompson. Gate number 2, in yellow for the Cheetahs, is Dan Gilkes. Gate number 3, in red for the Pirates, Richard Lawson. And in gate number 4, in white for the Cheetahs, is Jonas KNUDSEN. There we go. So the lineup across the gate there, as you've seen. Tobias Thompson, as Scotty said, they're showing more fight after his last race in heat number 8 there, up against Sam Masters. He's going to have to show equally as much fight in this one. And well, who knows, perhaps gate 1 is starting to come into play a little bit. If Thompson could make a start from there and Lawson with him, well, who knows what could happen. Excitement abounds, doesn't it? Let's have a look as the riders come to line in race 10.
Here we go then. Takes her up and away we go. And it looks like Lawson has forced his way to the front. Not such a good one from Tobias Thompson. He's looking to come up the inside. The Cheetahs pack the middle spaces again.
Lawson away with the mixer at the front, but Cheetahs packing in for second and third places, and really poor gate from Tobias Thompson, I'm afraid, who's now got to do all the work. And as hard as he's trying, those Oxford boys just look like they've got things nice and cosy and under control in second and third places, which is all their team manager will have been asking them to do. So we come to the yellow and black flag with a lap to go. Richard Lawson in the red helmet colour for the Pirates, out in front, chased by the two Cheetahs.
Yeah, Lawson looks an awful lot quicker in this one. Looking around at who's behind him, well, he's got daylight behind him, but when he does look round, oh, the Oxford rider goes down on turn 4, so gifted a point there. It's red, white, blue and yellow. Dan Gilkes is still down on the track and is failing to finish. Went in really hard down on turn 3 and 4, drifted out into the heavy stuff. Got a big tank slapper and a bit of lift on board. And we know these engines and these motorcycles are not particularly forgiving. Gilkes is still led on the floor. It's an awkward crash, which obviously we won't show you until we know that the rider is okay. And just hit some grip and lifted, and it just fired him towards the fence. Managed to get off it before he hit the fence. And maybe he'd have been better off hitting the fence. It may have been softer than the ground that he landed on, Rob.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, it's one of those nasty ones. Well, they're all nasty when riders come off, aren't they, at this speed? But we hope that Dan isn't too badly hurt down there, maybe just winded. As Scotty says, we will keep the cameras away from the attention that he is receiving at the moment, so that the medical crew can do their things. But
also had a message on my Facebook post from Floppy Norris saying he'd hoped the meeting would be on BSN, so he's obviously subscribed to BSN and not got Pirates TV for the evening.
well, he'll know for the future, won't he? If he wants to watch the Pirates and it's not on BSN, then he can hook up with us on Pirates TV and get all the action that's taking place at Wimborne Road, although unfortunately not a lot of action at the moment due to unforeseen circumstances.
Yeah, I'm a BSN subscriber for the championship, and you know, I just think it's been a revelation over the last couple of years to be able to bring meetings from up and down the country. It's a great idea, and obviously we're here now with Pirates TV, and varying other tracks do have similar facilities to stream in one way or another, and maybe another way that the sport is going forward.
Yeah, like you, Scotty, I'm a subscriber to the championship element of BSN, and it's been very good for the sport in general. Let's just pause there, and hopefully you can pick up track announcer Nigel Leahy, who's got Ben Cook with him.
Somebody in the world always pleased to see you on Wimborne Road. Give it up, ladies and gents, for Ben Cook. Not so long ago, this was something that was very much on the upper part of your mind. An injury at the worst possible time at the start of the season. Just tell us what you've been through and what the scenario is for a return.
Yeah, it's been a frustrating time, to say the least. It's not been real fun at all the last 3 weeks, to be honest. Just been staying at home, just doing recovery stuff every day. I've got really a bit of physio going on at home. I've got the oxygen chamber and a few other machines to start helping everything healing and trying to get the bones and everything back together. And ultimately try and be back as fast as I can. But it's just a slow process, and it's something I've never really ever had to go through. And hopefully I don't have to go through it again, because it's not really fun.
The extent of the injury really was quite serious, and what surprised us probably is the fact that you were clearly in a lot of pain, but you actually went to Poland to get it fixed. And I remember you telling me when you were here last time we were racing, showing us the x-rays, and that was a pretty horrific picture. And also the fact that you had to take the flight with it still in pain to go all the way to Poland. Tell us about that.
Yeah, pretty much. I went to the hospital there in Kingston, and they put it back into place for me because it was dislocated, and pretty much couldn't give me an answer when I could get it operated on, and it wasn't really in a good way. So, fortunately for me, the club in race for in Holland, he pulled a few strings, and a couple of days later, under getting surgery and putting it all back together, and fortunately, I was one of the best wrist surgeons in the country over there. So I really couldn't have been much luckier to have someone like that do the job for me. But it wasn't real cool, flying and driving everywhere. I still got a broken wrist, and on some strong painkillers, that's for sure. But we're on the upper side now. It's just a bit of a road to go, but it doesn't make it any easier when you come here tonight and you're watching everyone ride around. But it's cool. It gets me out of the house to do something.
Have they given you a prospect that you'll ride again this year? Is that on the cards?
Yeah, for sure. It's the way the surgeon kind of put it all back together for me. He knew that I wanted to race again, ASAP. So hopefully, in that 6 to 8 week mark, if it's all feeling good, and I'll know a bit more next week when I get another X-ray to see if it's all starting to heal together. But it's not just the bone going together. It's literally like to learn use your hand again. Nothing really works properly, and I think that's the hardest part at the minute, is just to get some function going in the hand and the wrist and all that. But at the same time, I'm also limited to what I can do with it. I'm not really allowed to move it much. So it's just a wait and see really, and when the time gets a bit closer, I'll see if I can go. Hopefully that's 6 to 8 weeks.
I'm sure you can't wait. Tonight, obviously, the Pirates are up against it. You've been a bit of a spectator in the pits. I'm sure that lots of work going on behind the scenes to try and put things right. The Pirates are running out of time right now, but they've reduced that deficit to just 6 points.
Yeah, it's all in the starts, and the boys weren't making the best starts early on, but in the end they started to claw a few points back, but it's hard. You can't give a big lead away to Oxford, especially. They're pretty good around here, and yeah, hopefully they can get the meeting finished off and they can get a win on the board. But it's still early in the year, but obviously you've got to win these meetings to keep progressing through. So see what they can do.
It's good to see you back at Wimborne Road. You were an extremely popular captain last year, leading the team to success, and your career hopefully will continue to go on the up and up. Bellevue's worked out well for you, and I'm going to say now at King's Lynn as well, everything going in the right direction.
Yeah, for sure. It is pretty weird not racing the English. It's all I've ever really known is to come here on a Wednesday and race since I've ever been in the UK. So it is weird, but it's also good to be down here and still being a part of it. And but yeah, like you said, everything's going well for me. Just keep stepping that ladder up and keep progressing as much as I can. And like I said, it's going good apart from the minute. But yeah, hopefully finish off the season well.
Fantastic. Well, we wish you all the very best. Ladies and gentlemen, great to see you. Ben
So the ambulance has just rolled into the pits, we can tell you. And as the ambulance rolls in, so Richard Lawson rolls out. In fact, it's Louis Kerr, of course, isn't it? Louis comes out for the Pirates. So we're back on to racing. Thanks to our medical crew for all their attention towards Dan Gilkes.
In heat number 11, Marson will take the place of Poole Starke. In blue in heat number 11. All right, pilots approaching the line. In the red helmet colour on race number 2. Picking up for Louis Kerr.
So there we go, reserve change for the Pirates as well. So heat 11, sponsored by Link Fabrication. In gate 1 in white is Sam Masters for Oxford Cheetahs. Gate 2 in red is Lewis Kerr for the Pirates. Gate 3 in yellow is Mitch McDiarmid for the Cheetahs. And in gate 4, a reserve change. It's Matt Marson in gate 4 in blue for the Pirates. There's our floodlighting well and truly on now. Riders do their last bit of gardening here for heat 11. The green lights are on. Tapes have gone up.
Rider replacements so far accumulated 6 and a bonus for Oxford in place of Cameron Heaps, with a chance to add to that, of course, here with Mitch McDiarmid in the yellow helmet colour. So the riders settle at the gate. Starting marshal moves away.
And away they go, and it's Masters has bossed the start. Louis Kerr's gone wide to try and get him, but Masters had some grip on the inside. He's taken off in front. Mitch McDiarmid is really having a good go at Louis Kerr.
Picked from the back, Louis Kerr by McDiarmid with a good piece of ride, great piece of riding. Masters away with the mixer at the front. McDiarmid, lots of speed, lots of angles as well, and no fear at all whatsoever. Louis Kerr, well, he's in the third place at the back of the field. Marson's down and just clearing the track, but with 1 lap to go, Oxford look like they're going to stamp their approval on this one with Masters and McDiarmid.
We could have a situation here where it's going to be a 5-1. McDiarmid goes wide, but it's white, yellow, red as they go over the line, and blue's just coming in at the back. At Marson, it's a 5-1 to the Cheetahs, and they will be over the moon with that when we return from the break. And I have to say, having a reserve that's absolutely on fire is helping the Oxford Cheetahs so far tonight.
It certainly is. Let's call the result of heat number 11 like this. A win for the rider in white for the Cheetahs, Sam Masters. Second place in yellow, great ride from the reserve rider Mitch McDIARMID in yellow for the Cheetahs. And third place, the rider in red being picked off there was Louis Kerr. 5-1 heat advantage to the Cheetahs, a time of 61.44 seconds, and the overall score moves in favour of the Cheetahs by 37 points to 29. 37 and 29 to the Cheetahs. Wow, it's really taken to the Pirates by the Cheetahs in that one. Great work, and McDIARMID hunting down and passing Louis Kerr. Not expected in any way, but the young Aussie reserve is absolutely scintillating form for the visitors tonight, and congratulations to him. Reserve change again in heat number 12 in yellow. Luke Killeen will come in to replace Mitch McDIARMID, and the Pirates of course will ring their own reserve change here, with Poole Starke taking the place of Matt Marson. So here's your lineup across the gate. Gate number 1 in yellow is Luke Killeen for the Cheetahs. Gate 2 in red for the Pirates, Anders Rowe. Gate number 3 in white for the Cheetahs is Jonas KNUDSEN, and gate number 4 in blue for the Pirates is Poole Starke.
Yeah, Heat 12 sponsored by Fry's Electrical Limited. Pirates captain looking over the fence there. Colin, our start marshal, calling the riders in. He's happy. Up go the tapes again, and it looks like a beauty again from the Oxford Cheetahs. All right round the inside comes Rowe, makes a space, and so does Poole Starke. Follows through on Luke Killeen. Pirates now take chase after Jonas KNUDSEN.
Anders Rowe picks up the baton to chase KNUDSEN, and he's down on that inside line. KNUDSEN out wider. Can Rowe find a path through on the inside? No, KNUDSEN has got enough drive off the back wheel. Poole Starke's tucked into third place. Killeen out the back, but it's Rowe and out the front KNUDSEN who are doing the business in this race, and it's Anders Rowe who needs to pull it together for the Pirates. Over the line they come. Rowe's just about taken it.
Good pass from Rowe on the inside. Gets hold of KNUDSEN, gets in his way, and now Starke's trying to come up the inside. Can he turn this into a 5-1? Starke will stay tight. Can he get up the Hague Avenue? No. It's red, white, blue and yellow. Anders Rowe absolutely working his socks off there. Outside, inside. KNUDSEN didn't know where he was going, but he got the job done coming round into lap 4. Coming up the inside of the Hague Avenue. Good stuff there from Anders Rowe. He takes the win in red.
Yeah.
And the 3 points. In second was Jonas KNUDSEN in white for the Cheetahs. In third in blue was Poole Starke for the Pirates. And at the back in yellow was Luke Killeen. It was a 4-2 heat advantage in favour of the Pirates. Time for Heat 12, 61.81. The score now, match score on the night, 33 to the Pirates, 39 to the Cheetahs. It's back to 6.
Here we go, we've riders out on track for heat number 13. Rider in shot in yellow there is Jordan Jenkins for the Oxford Cheetahs. I wonder if they were tempted to put Mitch McDIARMID in here. We'll never know. On screen and exiting pit gate, the rider in white, their main man, is Sam Masters. And we've got Pirates, Richard Lawson and Louis Kerr in contention. Let's have a look at how they will match up across the gate. Riding in red, gate number 1, Richard Lawson for the Pirates. Gate number 2 in gate number 2 in white for the Cheetahs is Sam Masters. Gate number 3 in blue is Louis Kerr, and in gate number 4 in yellow is Jordan Jenkins for the Cheetahs. So a very big heat number 13. They're always big heat 13s, but this one probably carries even more importance than usual.
Yeah, it sure does, and we said to look out for the heats where Masters and Lawson were alongside one another. Well, in heat 1, Masters was underneath Lawson and got the better of him, just forced him a little wide. This time round, can Richard get to the corner? Even Steven with Masters. Masters picks a new bit of dirt there, that, by the looks of things, in gate 2. Heat 13 sponsored by Global Heating. And away we go, and it looks like Richard had the start on him. Oh, it's all got bunched, and it's the Poole riders out front. But Lawson seems to box Louis Kerr up against the fence. He thought it was Masters coming around the outside of him. He's now looked there and seen that it is. Can Lawson get anywhere near Jordan Jenkins?
So Lawson's away at the front, but that first bend's going to cost the Pirates dear here, because the gap allowed both those Cheetahs through. Lawson's away. Cheetahs in second and third, side by side, team riding at the best. But it's Louis Kerr at the back for the Pirates, the man who made such a good start. He hasn't been able to make it stick. Richard Lawson looks over his shoulder. He sees there's a lap to go, but he hasn't got his teammate near him.
No, it's a shame. He just got bogged, didn't he, outside of turn 2. He's now starting to make some inroads. Masters has a look over his shoulder to double check that he makes it, but it's red, white, yellow and blue as they go over the line. And there was a massive cheer as the Poole duo got to the front. But Lawson balked his partner there a little.
Yes, I'm sure he thought that was going to be Sam Masters coming around him, but it wasn't to be, and it was the Oxford pair who found the gap through and filled the second and third positions. Here's your official result on heat number 13. It's a win for the rider in red, Richard Lawson, for the Pirates. Second place in white was Sam Masters for Oxford. Third in yellow, also for Oxford, was Jordan Jenkins. Out the back, Louis Kerr. Points are shared, 3 to each team. 61.47 the race winning time, and match score 36 Poole, 42 Oxford.
Here we'll see with the replay, you can see Lawson makes the initial jump and gets half a wheel, but Masters tries to get over him, but he was balked. He was balked by the two Pirates riders, and Lawson basically went out. He was going into the first corner with so much speed, he had to drift wide and ultimately filled his partner right in and stopped his momentum. The amount of shale and mud that was hitting him, that was unfortunate. So we have an injury rider replacement now in reserve. Mitch McDiarmid coming out in white in place of Dan Gilkes, who left proceedings at heat 10. Here we go. Here's your lineup for heat 14, sponsored by Maidment Properties Limited. Gate 1 in white is Mitch McDiarmid, who's had a great night for the Cheetahs. Gate 2, Poole Starke in blue for the Pirates. In gate 3 in yellow is Luke Killeen for the Cheetahs, and in gate 4 in red is Zach Cook for the Pirates. And it has been a strange night for the Pirates tonight, Rob. Haven't really looked settled and got to grips with the track this evening.
No, I'd agree with that, Scotty, and To me, its starting's been all to pot this evening for the Pirates. Oxford have been sharp away from the gates, and you can't deny that it's helped them put a lot of points on the board. So well done, Cheetahs, for your starting ability tonight and your racing, of course. Pirates, well, a bit of brushing up to do over the course of the next 7 days.
Well, it could start here in Heat 14. Who knows, Rob? I'll start Marshall's away. Tapes her up and away we go. It looked a good one on the outside from Zach Cook. He's being forced wide. Coming underneath is Paul Starke under Killeen. Can somebody get out front and do anything about Mitch McCoy?
And Zach Cook steams through on bend 4, gets himself in front of Mitch McDiarmid, and it's now down to Paul Starke to do the hard work. Can he rule in Mitch McDiarmid? He's working hard at it. At the moment, he's not really making an inroad. Zach Cook's okay out front. He's looking for a partner, but it's not his partner he's seeing. Mitch McDiarmid sits in second place for Oxford. This is going to give them almost certainly a victory on the night. Cook leads over the line ahead of McDiarmid and Starke.
Whether Starke can keep it penned down low enough here. It looks like it's all a little bit too much unless the mistake comes. But it's a win in red for Zach Cook. It's red, white, blue and yellow as they go over the line.
Taking victory, heat number 14 belongs to Zach Cook.
It's a win for the Poole captain in red. For me, Rob, I think the track's dried out a little bit on the outside and that line's gone a little bit dry and a bit powdery rather than grippy with the delay.
Yeah, I agree with you there. Let's have a look on the official score chart here with the result on Heat 14. Zach Cook, your winner, red helmet colour, 3 points in the bag for him. Mitch McDiarmid picked off from the back by Cook. He was in white, second place for the Cheetahs. Paul Starke picks up a valuable third place there in blue for the Pirates. Luke Killeen in yellow at the back. 4-2 to the Pirates. Pirates 40, Cheetahs 44. Advantage Cheetahs, you would think, at this stage with the nominated race to come, but could it be a draw? Could it be another super heat? Well, who's to know? We'll soon find out. Team managers putting their picks together. Richard Lawson there, obviously spoken to by Neil MIDDLEDITCH, so looks like he's going to be one of the contenders. Zach Cook being spoken to as well. Could it be him? Could it be Anders Rowe? We'll soon find out. Over on the Oxford side, it's interesting. Who do you go for? Do you go for Masters and Knudsen, or do you go for Masters and McDiarmid? Few choices to be made by Peter Schroeck there, but you've got to say that having Sam Masters in the race must give you lots and lots of confidence.
Yeah, indeed. You'd think so. We're trying to grab our clues from here to see who's going where. Definitely looks like Lawson.
Poor choice of gates, I should think, in this one, which may be a benefit. Sam Masters called right at the start of the meeting and took 1 and 3. What will happen in this one? We certainly thought it was going to be tight at the start of the evening, and that's the way it's turned out. Oxford have run the Pirates very, very close here, and it could go in their favour, but we'll soon see.
So we're hearing from the pits that it's going to be Zach Cook in red and Richard Lawson in blue. It's going to be Sam Masters in white and Jonas KNUDSEN in yellow. And the Pirates are going to take 1 and 3, with Sam Masters taking 1 and 3 and having the choice in Heat 1.
Well, there you are. There's the Pirates duo in close discussion ahead of the race. Richard Lawson in the blue helmet colour there. Zach Cook just donning the red one. And they come up against high-scoring Sam Masters, 14 points out of 15 for him so far this evening. And the solid Jonas KNUDSEN as Sam's racing partner. So there we go. Riders under the 2-minute time allowance now. And as we see, Richard Lawson is first out on track.
Here we go, in the red helmet car.
Lots of pacing in the pits, which you can quite understand. When Poole took Plymouth on last week, the Pirates returned a 5-1 in Heat 15. Oh, how they would love to do exactly the same again in this one.
Indeed they would. And it's a tall order to ask, isn't it? But here goes our Heat 15. Our sponsors are Upright Scaffolding Services Limited. And in gate 1 in red for the Pirates is Zach Cook, the captain. In gate 2 in white for the Cheetahs, Sam Masters. He's had a good night this evening. Gate 3 in blue, Richard Lawson for the Pirates. And in gate 4 in yellow is Jonas KNUDSEN for the Cheetahs. Pirates need a 5-1 to level it up on the evening and take us to a golden heat.
There's a lot of nails being bitten around me, Scotty, I know that.
Masters and Lawson very close to each other in gates 2 and 3. Cater up and underway. Lawson looks to have got over him. Masters has driven to the corner, got there first. Cook trying to come up the inside. He kind of blocked the run of Lawson around the outside and managed to stop Zach Cook in the middle. But now Lawson needs to be let go and let him have a go.
Lawson ran the outside. He's got a lot of power there. Will he be? He's going to bomb Masters down the inside. Not quite. I'd love to see the start again because I think Masters were on the move. But Richard Lawson, well, man possessed at the moment. He's trying to reel out Sam Masters. Masters riding a canny line. Lawson having a shut off going into bend number 3. Round Lawson comes. He's going to take him to the front. Now, Zach Cook, what are you made of, lad?
Yeah, Sam Cook's got to go wide and try and find something. It doesn't look like it's going to happen. Masters is going to hold a tight line. Lawson wins it in blue, white, red and yellow. And the spoils go in the favour of the Oxford Cheetahs with that couple of points from Sam Masters. He's been fantastic this evening for the Cheetahs and really led the line, you have to say. Here's the confirmation and the result of Heat 15. It's a win in the rider in blue, Richard Lawson, who worked his backside off to get past Masters in a great move from him. Masters comes in second in white for the Cheetahs. In third in red was Zach Cook for the Pirates. And at the back in yellow was Jonas KNUDSEN for the Cheetahs. It was a 4-2 heat score in the favour of the Pirates, but as you can see on the final score, it was not quite enough. It was 44 to the Pirates, 46 to the Cheetahs, and on aggregate 89-91. There's our match result.
Here come the team scores with Richard Lawson on 13 from 5 rides, Tobias THOMSEN 3, Anders Rowe 8 and 1 from 4, Zach Cook 10 and 1 from 5, Louis Kerr 6 from 4, Paul Starke 4 and 1 from 4, 5, Matt Marson no score from his 3 rides. Over with the visitors, Sam Masters an impeccable score of 16, Jonas KNUDSEN 7 and 2 from 6 rides, Jan Gilkes 5 points, and we wish him all the best. Jordan Jenkins 4-1 from 4. Mitch McDIARMID 11-1 from 5, and Luke Killeen 3-1 from 5, and it's a 44-46 win to the visitors. Oxford boys just walking over to congratulate their own supporters, who in turn will reciprocate, of course. Next home meeting here, live stream for the Pirates Cab Direct Championship next Wednesday night, is the Pirates and the Scunthorpe Scorpions.
All that's left to say is it's goodbye from us, the Pirates TV crew. Our main camera, Rob Haywood. Roaming camera, Paul Hague. Presenter and commentator, some guy called Mitchell. Interviewer and commentator, my good mate Rob Dyer. Speedway presenter, Nigel Lehigh. Producer and director, Andy Hague. It's over and out from us here at Wimborne Road. Thanks for sticking with us in some difficult times. Here's the overall aggregate result. The Cheetahs pick up the 3 points and take the BSN League Southern. We can just bid you a fond farewell and come and join us again on our next meeting.
Thanks, Scotty. It's been fun doing it with you. We'll do it again next week when Scunthorpe are in town. Good night for everybody on the Pirates TV stream.
He went inside, outside, he played.